Hello, Bella. Hello, beautiful.
Hello, darling. How are you?
I am doing absolutely wonderful. I'm just glad it's Friday.
I know. Thank
Yeah.
God it's Friday because we have Farm Fresh
Woohoo!
Friday.
Yes, we do.
And
Yes, we do.
welcome, everybody.
Yes,
And look at
welcome to
you,
Fresh
looking
Friday.
lovely in red, Zanetta. Your power red and your hair, it looks all very, I said Marilyn Monroe. I like
Oh,
it.
Marilyn Monroe-ish. Okay. I
Mhm.
think I'll start doing this from now on.
I like it. I think it looks great. It was probably really easy to do, right? Didn't take you long.
No, it didn't.
And
Yeah,
usually the
just,
styles that take the longest are the ones that look the best, I reckon.
oh, well, thank you.
Look, yeah. It's a 10 out of 10 for me.
Woohoo! Well, you always look lovely.
Oh,
You
well, thank you.
always.
Not always. Not always. Come on. Not
Oh,
always.
yes. Every time, no matter if your hair is all up in a bun. I was like, oh, dang, I wish I could pull that off. I can't pull that off.
That's when I'm having bad hair days. I just throw it up all on top, you see, have it sort of
Well,
sprout out, have that natural look.
yeah, you can pull that off. I can't.
Oh, yes,
Uh,
you can.
mm,
You just need some
mm.
techniques. That's all. I'll have to have a look. We'll just
Oh,
have to have a
I,
little
I, I think when
play.
my hair is a little bit longer, then I'll be able to pull that off. But
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
All right. We
So
have an interesting topic.
we do, don't we? But before we
Yes.
before we start, do you have any
Uh-huh.
shout out to anyone, Zanetta?
Um, Let me see. Do I have you know what? I haven't done this in a long time. I'm gonna give a shout out to my husband,
Oh,
Jeff. Yeah.
hello.
Yeah. He
Jeff.
watches on the down low.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he's one of those trolls. No,
Oh, is he?
yeah, he watches on the down low.
No, that's
Yeah, but
okay. No, he just catches it on the
yes.
replay. So if we
Yes.
forgot to mention, if you're watching live, anyone out there right now,
Hello,
hashtag
say
live,
hello.
hello, tell us where you're from. And if you're catching it on the replay, catch hashtag replay. And if you're watching as a troll, hashtag troll. Wouldn't it be funny if someone actually put on hashtag troll
That
just for fun?
was be that would be so hilarious. I would just,
Yeah,
oh my god, that would do it for me. That would
yeah.
do it for me. Hashtag troll. I'm one of your trolls. Woo woo. All right, troll.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah. What
hello
about
there.
you?
Do I have a shout out? Let me think. Yes, I have a shout out to who do I have a shout out to? I've got so many people that I want to shout out to. But one very special person I'd like to shout out to Damien. Damien is in Sydney, and I'd like to shout out to him because he does catch it on the replay and
Oh,
puts his little 2 cents in, as we say here. And yeah, I appreciate you, Damien. Appreciate your feedback. So shout out
yeah.
to you.
Appreciate you, Damien. It's so weird. I just thought of the name that you were gonna say before you said it.
Really? Oh my,
Yeah.
you're zoning in, aren't you?
I think I am. I am
Mm,
just zoning in today.
good for you. Good for you. Well, today we do
Yeah.
have a very interesting segment to
Yes, we
talk about
do.
some great topic, a great topic. And
Hmm.
what do you do when, you know, you call someone out on their BS is the
Mm.
topic. And I guess this is something that may relate to a lot of you out there. And if it
Hmm.
is, let us know. Put some comments down there. What do you do?
Yes.
Um, it's interesting. I've had this conversation with, just, sometimes you say, what do you do when you catch them out on their BS? And I know I did a live, was it a couple of days ago, about liars, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Which I think kind of falls into this category. But yeah, it's interesting because, when we do catch someone out on their BS, it can evoke a lot of things, not only within ourselves, but also within them. And I think the key is how to navigate through that to keep you cool, but also
Mm-hmm.
let them know that you have caught them out without being drawn into their energy, because their energy they might fire up. They might feel defensive, and you know
Mm-hmm.
they might fire back at you, or they may feel embarrassed or ashamed or deflect, possibly, what
Mm-hmm.
they're talking about, like change subject real quick. I've known to be with people like that. Or they can really get angry, and resentful. And it's got nothing to do with us, but we're triggering something because
Mm-hmm.
we're kind of like mirroring back to them and calling them out without really calling them out. There's ways of doing it, I think.
Oh yeah.
Sonetta
Miss
catching them out.
Tanya. Hey ladies. It's Tanya. Hi Tanya. Thank you
Hello,
for
Tanya.
joining. Yeah. And sometimes when you call them out on their BS, they will uh, turn things around.
Mm-hmm.
They will start pointing out some stuff. Well, what about you? You,
Mm-hmm.
they make it about you now, not about them. So, yeah. Or, switch the drama and say, well, what do you mean? Here, I'm doing this. I'm doing this for you. Yeah, right.
Yeah, turn
Yeah.
into victim mode, right?
So,
They get into
yeah.
yeah, they
Yeah.
they can really, do little shifts, and that sometimes can be really frustrating for the person that catches them out, because what do we do? Do we really catch them out and, like, sort of like bring out all the evidence and and then be enthralled into their energy? Or do we kind of let it go? Like, what do we do? Audience out there, what do you think? Like, what, give us
Yeah.
some suggestions.
So even when you call some people, what do you mean, Tanya, when you call some people? What do you mean? Give us a little bit more. Give us a little bit more, something to go on. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. They act like they haven't done anything. They still lie. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
they cover up a
And
lie with another lie and then another lie. It's like,
yeah.
what are you talking about? Like, and they make it sound so believable, don't they?
Mm, they try to make it sound believable. Yeah.
Right.
But,
Right.
mm, mm,
So,
mm, mm,
so Zanetta, how do
mm,
you
mm.
how do you deal with someone that, you're in a conversation or in a scenario, a situation where you call them out, you catch them out red-handed, and
Mm,
they're like, they're still going, they're believing in their BS, because that's the thing. People that do this, they're so good because they believe in actually what they're saying. So it probably is BS, but they don't think, no, well, there's nothing wrong with it because I'm telling you this story and you got to buy into it, right? But
right.
it's not like that.
Yeah. No. Um, D. Oh my gosh.
Hi,
Welcome.
Dee. Hi, Dee.
You, you are not responsible for others' emotions, reactions, responses. However, communication is the response you get. That is true. You are not responsible for, for others' emotions. However, you are responsible for the truth. That's, you know, um, so how do I do it? I ask a series of questions.
Miss
Yeah.
Investigator.
Yeah, I do. I do. I say, well, wait a minute. You just said this, but now you're saying this. What is it? Okay. Well, how is that? So, just for a great example,
Mm, okay, we love examples.
it's the mind of an 11-year-old. um, so I get a text and said, "Hey, can they play on the trampoline?" I said, "Oh no, she can't because she had a spinal fusion." He said, "Well, her dad said, yeah." What? So I asked Jeff, "Jeff, did you say not about a trampoline?" Jeff
Oh,
didn't say
wow.
anything.
That's crazy.
So here we go. Here comes, here comes 11-year-old. Since when did we talk about a trampoline? Well, I told you a long time ago. No, you did not. Because we would have said the same thing today with a long time ago. No, I thought that that I did say no. Well, they have a trampoline at their home. So I said, and what does that got to do with anything? So if they're playing with stakes and knives, they don't play stakes and knives too without asking. Oh, no. So what sense does that make? Well, I thought that because you said I can go to their home because they have a trampoline, I can get on the trampoline.
Wow.
And it just kept on rolling. And I said, listen, let me just stop you right there. You're found out. Just say, you know what? I just assumed. That's
Yeah.
it. Stop. Stop.
Mm,
Just
mm.
stop. So I do a lot of questions. Well, what do you mean by that? Well, what do you do? I mean, you're confusing me. Well, you just said, yeah,
Right. Now
that's
that's interesting. That's an 11-year-old, right? That's an 11-year-old doing
11.
that. Right. So 11 years old. So if this 11-year-old isn't like, I guess,
Isn't
like you're catching,
savvy.
yeah, or you're not savvy enough to kind of like direct her and catch her out, let's face it, right? Because
Hmm.
how much BSing can you do if you keep getting caught every time? You know, like you sort of got to think, well, I've got to. She's catching me out, or he's catching me out in every direction here. I'm getting
Hmm.
cornered. I either stop BSing to this person, or they're just going to keep doing it because they think they can. I don't
Yeah.
know, because this is behavioral patterns. Now, we know that you've had her for the
2 years.
last year, 2 years, right?
2 years.
So a lot
Hmm.
of her, and that she's 11. So a lot of our behavioral, learning behavior patterns
Hmm.
are learned from the ages of, 0 to 8.
Yes.
So that was where most of her, behavioral patterns were formed. And of
Hmm.
course, she's like 3 years after that. So she's still very quite into that.
Oh,
So that's so
yes.
that's why it can be a little challenging, and you just
Hmm.
have to stick to it, which I'm sure you will. But yeah, and not let her get away with it, because see, she plays one off the other. And if the parents, this is where the parents come into it, if they're not in alignment together and on the same page, you have a disaster with your children.
Hmm.
That's children. So again, they're going to be learning more behavioral patterns of manipulation and
Oh,
BSing
yeah.
even more, and navigating through the whole, you know, um, I guess, trajectory of, I got this down pat. I can with both of them about anything, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. And then you have, well, we're talking about 11-year-old, and this is very typical, for children to try to get out of trouble. So they'll try to explain certain things. But when we're talking about adults, especially, um, the other day, I'm not going to mention any names, um, but I got blindsided. I had to, I was like, what? Oh my God. Yeah, because there was just this feeling inside of me, and I was like, I just can't get rid of this feeling. I just can't get rid of it. And so as I began to analyze the conversation, I was like, oh my God, I got blindsided. I was bamboozled. I was so,
Right.
there are times where, you know, our own trust with someone that we don't think that would give us any kind of BS, that's another another
Story.
segment. It's another segment.
Mm,
People that we had trusted, and then find out they've been BSing all this time. It's disheartening. It's like
mm,
well, wait a minute. If you did it this with this conversation, now you're going to start to go back with other conversation, and then it unfolds. It starts to unfold, and you feel like feeling. I know. I feel some type of way
mm.
because I can't
So,
explain it.
right. Um, so what do you do? Like, to say for an adult, let's talk about adults.
Hmm. Hmm.
Children is definitely a subject matter, and I'm sure there's a lot of, you know, parents out there that want to hear about children. But let's talk about even, dealing with adults, because
Hmm.
again, this is the behavior that they have learnt in their earlier years. They've gotten away
Hmm.
with it, and where they haven't gotten away with it, they've probably just changed track. They've like, you know what, I can't pull the wool over this person's eyes, so I'm just going to let this one go and I'll move on to my next victim.
Mm.
Right? And
Right.
but just say you're the next victim, and you you know you caught them out. Like, what do you do? What's your what maybe I should say, because I know you've done a lot of work on yourself like I have too. What would you have done, say, 20 years ago, catching someone out
Oh wow.
BSing
What
to you?
I think I would have been a little bit more diplomatic.
Diplomatic? Hmm. Please
Yeah.
explain. In what way?
Because before I would just, blurt it out. I would let my emotions get the best of me. So my emotions would be driving me. So, uh, you know, 20 years ago, if I would have gone back, I would have been a little bit more diplomatic. I'm like, listen, you're just caught, and like what Deshauna just said, you're not responsible for others' emotions.
Mm,
The communication is the response. So, um, you're caught. I don't care what you say or what the next, explanation you're gonna have. Just own up to it. And if they don't, I just walk away. Just because if they don't value the friendship enough to tell the truth or to say, okay, yeah, yeah, then that means, why? Why would I even continue a relationship? I would be an acquaintance. I would say, hey, how you doing? You know, but have a relationship? No, no.
mm. That's 20 years ago, right?
20 years ago, I would ream into them. I
Right.
mean,
That's
yeah, but I would be more diplomatic. Yeah, I would have been more diplomatic.
okay.
Yeah, now that
So,
I've matured.
right. So, as opposed to 20 years ago when you reamed into them diplomatically, what what was your result? Like, what did you did you
Cut them off
right. No, what
straight
I'm
up.
what I'm trying to get to is, how did you actually feel? How did they react, and how did
Oh,
it feel?
there was a lot of anger. I was angry. Yeah, I would be angry and it's betrayed, feeling betrayed. Um, the trust no longer there. The bridge burnt to
Mm,
crisp, and there's no way that you're gonna build another one because I will make
Mm.
sure that you won't build another bridge. Yeah, that's how it was before.
Whereas now, oh, we got some. It's
Yeah,
Tanya.
Tanya said I found that for some people, it's just who they are. Oh, it's like they can't be accountable for nothing. See, that's when I cut things off.
Mm.
When they say that's who they are, then live your
Right.
life. Live your life, not around my circle. Um, but now you ask the question. Now, what do I do, or
Yeah,
do
yeah.
I?
Like, how do you
Yeah,
handle it now?
now I don't burn the bridge. That's number one, uh, because you never know when they actually need you. When because if I feel like if they're doing this to me, and I'm not the only one that they're doing it to. So I would call them out in a very diplomatic way, love them through it. If they don't own it, you can go your way, I can go my way. But that bridge would still be there just in case, they would need someone to talk to. I would give them the respect, okay, but just to have that, you know, that bridge to still be there to let them know that I'm still here as a true friend. I will still tell you when you are BSing me. So, and I
Right.
will tell you straight up, I will be one of those friends. And if you don't like it, you can cross that bridge over again. Now, if you want to come back over here again, well, don't BS me.
Right. I like that. I like that. And this is exactly what I guess Dishona was saying about
Hmm.
the communications, right? So you're not
Yeah,
responsible for what they're saying. And at the same token, you can decide whether what they're saying is going to affect you, and how you
right.
react is in totally your responsibility. Um, but however, communication is
The
the
response you get.
that's right. So, and you're, what you're saying by your example, you're leaving it open to have that communication, right? Because
Hmm.
you know what? Sometimes this is what we got to put our feet in other people's shoes, because in that given moment, you're in your own shoes. You're feeling insulted. You feel like your intelligence is being, they're insulting your
Undermined.
intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, you're feeling some sort of way that's usually not pleasant, right?
Mm-mm. Hmm.
So we're in our own feelings. And I know
Yeah.
it's really hard to get into someone else's feelings, but it's a practiced technique where you just breathe and say, okay, this is not my stuff, right? I'm not responsible. This is not my stuff. Let me just kind of feel like if I can put my feet in this person's shoes. Why? What's behind all this, And usually, I mean, it doesn't take long. It's because they're hurting, because they're in shame, they're in denial, they're in whatever's happening within them, because they're hurting, because they're in pain. And I think the example you gave of how you deal with it now, because obviously you've done lots of years of, self development
Yes.
and growth. I think that's just such a compassionate way of dealing with things,
Hmm.
because, you know, um, you you don't burn your bridges, because they really may need you, in a vulnerable time. They're feeling like everyone's shutting down on them, or closing the door, or feeling rejected. That's their coping mechanism, because that's when they behave like that. They're BSing. That's how they cope with life as a protection. Um, yeah, which is not. I'm not giving them, the go ahead, right?
Well,
But
well,
catching them out and telling them, I think, is also, like, well, I can see what's happening. do you really want to tell me the truth now? Let's get really down to the story. Let's
Right.
let's pull out a chair now. Let's make a cup of coffee and let's get serious about this conversation. So you're telling them without saying you're BSing me. I hear you. I see you. I feel you. Now let's get to the truth of this.
Right. Right. And here's another thing that I do. Even though I know for a while that this person is BSing, I'll
Mhm.
let them, you know, I'll let them, I'll give them rope.
Mm,
Um, and while I'm giving them rope, I'm still giving them truth. I
mm,
don't let them, slide. Well, I'll put that in there. Well, you do know that that's not a good idea. Without telling them you're just full of BS right now. You're just BSing. I can see right through you. I
mm,
don't say that, but I give them enough to let them know me. You can't just so. And then they get to the point. Some of them get to the point of, can I be honest with you? Well, I hope so. I hope you're not gonna lie to me. And so it's always
What
my
what were we
response.
doing before, if you want to be honest now, right?
Good question. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's you said something. You said maybe that's their coping mechanism. Um, I can see that. I can see how the trauma can get you to that point of trying to BS your way yeah, out of situations or into a situation. I can see that, but there can't. I mean, there has to be a time to where you have to mature. There has to be. There has to be a time for
Mm,
maturity, for growth. Um, I mean, just for the simple fact of truth, because that's the only thing that can really set you free. It's the truth. Because when you're BSing, you're gonna have to remember that one. And then when you tell another one, you're going to have to remember that one. And
oh,
when
I
you
know.
tell another one, you have to remember that one. So it's exhausting.
Mm, it is
It's
exhausting.
exhausting. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And you've got to remember who you're telling that story to, because if you're BSing all over the place and you're telling a whole lot of different stories to different people, right? So you
Right.
got to be really good at not cross-wiring your stories.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing about people who BS and just won't, just can't take an account or be held accountable for anything. Somebody knows your truth.
Mm, the man upstairs, right?
Not only that,
Oh,
somebody knows your
oh,
truth.
it's true. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Somebody
Mhm.
knows. And that somebody just might come, you know, the paths might cross with the person that you're BSing, and then they'll be like, who? Are we talking about the same person?
Yeah.
They said, what? Uh, uh, no. I know where they live. I know their address. I know what kind of car they drive. I know where they work. So I don't know what you're talking about. Are we talking about the same person? You'd be like,
Mm.
yes. Yeah, somebody knows your truth. Somebody knows it. So, yeah. I Same thing with
Yes, you're
we're
about to
talking
say
about
something. You're about to say
yes,
something. Just let it out. Come on.
with
Just
this world that we're living in social media.
mhm.
There's a lot
Oh,
of people BSing. A
yeah.
lot.
Tell us about that, because that's another That's so easy to catch
That
someone
that's
out, right?
yeah, that's another segment. That's another story. But this little box right here that you're only allowing people to see, you
Mm,
can fake that and you can pretend. You can do all of this. Oh, this is what I'm doing, and I have this, and it, mm-mm. If anybody would watch this documentary, I don't know if it's still on Netflix. Um, gosh, is it? It's called. I can't remember the title, but it's about social media and
mm,
how these influencers gained such popularity. And it was just somebody's backyard. They put
mhm.
fake plants and
Someone
have
else
all.
Lamborghini.
Yeah, I mean, they're
They're
doing
at the
so,
showroom of the Lamborghini place. They're at the showroom.
taking pictures, or walking by it.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Well, that's the world of social media nowadays, right? So we
Yeah.
can really get drawn into that. Um,
And
yeah.
that's why we should never compare ourselves to anybody else. Because here
Mhm.
we are, you know, you're trying to do the best that you can for social media. You're trying to do the best you can for your business. And you're looking at somebody else. You're like, well, how are they doing it? Why are they? Yeah, because they're BSing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So never compare yourself to
Definitely.
anyone else that you see. Yeah.
Yeah. But I've even heard coaches tell other coaches to kind of BS, Like,
It's
I'll
the
give you an
name of the
example.
game. Yeah.
Sorry?
Give us some juicy examples.
What did you say before then? I missed it.
I said, that's the name of the game.
Name of the game, yeah. Where, for example, you got to make it look like you are super busy. So if people want to make appointments with you, you're going to kind of like stretch it out and say, well, I'm not really able to see you for at least another week because I'm just totally booked out. And I guess, that puts in an image in that prospective's mind, say, oh, wow, they're that busy. Gee, they're on demand. So, yeah, so I literally, I heard that and I thought, wow, that's coaching coaching suggestions.
Yeah. Coaching 101. BS.
But yeah, so I mean, I think that person may really need your help, a lot sooner than a week's time. They may really be
Right.
need, and I think, you know, I'd ask the question, even if you are really busy, like, how important is this to you? Like, I am fairly booked out because if you are, obviously some people are, but if it's really serious, if it's, you feel like you're not coping very well and you need someone to talk to immediately, you make room. You can move things around, make time.
Hmm.
As
Hmm.
coaches, that's what we do. We have time management, everything. So yeah, but first you got to work out whether that person is in,
Yeah. So
you know,
here's okay. I've already said my job and my profession. My profession is with diversity, equitable, and inclusion. So it's actually diversity and inclusion. They just included equitable. So I'm an investigator, and my first thing is to call the ones involved or possible witnesses, and I'll say, would you be available for an interview? Well, I got this and I got that, and I have this, and I said, well, right now I'm talking to you. Do you have availability right now?
mm,
Oh, well, you do know that they give you a reasonable amount of time to participate in this investigation. and you are required by law to participate. So I don't put that ending, first. I just want to see their availability. But now I have to put this, well, you're required by law to participate. Now that's me threatening them, letting them know, oh, you're going to participate one way or the other. And I'm the one who's going to dictate this. But, like what you were saying, coaches are told, oh, well, I'm not available until next week. Well, I'm talking to you right now.
Yes,
I need
yes, yes,
you now. Can That's what I would do. I mean, that's just me.
right,
Call them
right.
out on their BS. Yeah, call them out on their BS. Or, here's another one. It's coaching one-on-one BS. Oh, I have clients. Anybody can say that. Nobody has the proof, right?
Yes, I'm
Oh,
flat out.
my client. I can say my client. I was talking to my client, and I'm talking about Jeff. Yeah,
Yes, 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 yes.
yeah.
So,
So there's a lot of social media because of the world that we're living in.
mhm.
We mm, Genuineness is a dying breed. It's dying. So we need to keep it up, Stefania.
I
We
think
gotta
so.
fight.
I think so.
We gotta
But
fight.
also, mm, I also want to mention that, if you are in a situation where you are either in a relationship with someone who, because you may have a
Yes.
partner that does a lot of BSing, and we love them because they're just wonderful in other aspects of the relationship, right? They BS you, but they love me. I know they love me, and I love them. I hear it. I do hear these kind of phrases and
Mm,
comebacks. You know, this is something that you have to then do a little work on yourself. This is what I say
right.
because, like, okay, well, what are your values? What do you call love, and where are you placing your values here? And sometimes because we're not responsible for other people, and we can't make them change. We can only be catalysts to, you know, help them and catch them out and let them know what your values are and what's important to you, right?
Hmm.
Because sometimes people don't want to change. So what do we do? Right? What do we do? I mean, sometimes, I mean, this is harsh, but it's inevitable. You have to make some choices, whether you want to
Yeah.
stay in a relationship with someone that BSs you all the time and like, what's the next BS going to be, and you're always having to investigate, find out, cross examine, do all that.
Yeah.
Really, is that the kind of life you want to live? So these are
Uh,
also questions, whether it's a relationship, an intimate relationship, whether it's, close friends, that
mhm,
you've built really strong bonds and relationships, colleagues, work colleagues, you
mhm,
know,
mhm.
even someone at the grocery store at the cash out and tells you that the price check is not right on what the item is, and you say, hang on a minute, I saw that price.
Right.
Right? Do you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
catching people out in the BS in all areas of your
In
life.
all, yeah, all areas. It's like what I said. It's valuing the truth. You know, uh, valuing what's right. Um, I know I had to leave a relationship. A long-term relationship. Marriage. It was long. It was over 20 years, and I had to make that decision to leave. And I knew it was going to be, whoo, it was going to be a long, hard road. But I'd rather go through that long, hard road
Yes.
knowing that on the other side, I'm going to be okay. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I,
Mm-hmm.
I am better off than being attached, because, well, it's for the kids, or, we've been together for, over a decade, over 2 decades, I love him, he loves me. No, that is not love. You're gonna have, like what you said, you're gonna have to make that decision. What is real love?
Mm,
Because if you think that's love, you might have to
yeah,
reevaluate.
right. And you see, that's why I think a lot of people are in, crisis in their current relationship, where they have just turned a blind eye to this line, to this BSing all the time. They just think, oh, and just let it go. And there's only so much of it you can let go till it really surfaces one day and you're going to explode. So, yeah, you have to do some cross-checking with yourself, cross-examining your own values, what's
Hmm.
important. And and if you choose to stay in that, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Okay? Like,
Yeah.
people can choose to stay in it for whatever reason. Maybe financially, they feel secure. Besides all the BS that's going on, they just have got other motives as to why they stay in a relationship, or in a friendship. In that case, there's motives. Everyone's got motives. Um, you just got to suck it up. If you just don't, if you catch them out on their BS, don't carry on about rehashing how you caught them out on BS in here and BS in there. Because if they know you're not going to do anything about it, if you're not setting good, strong, healthy boundaries, that person's just going to keep doing it
Right.
because they know they can get away with it.
Hmm.
So communication is really key with that person, and also having that conversation with yourself, and knowing, okay, what's important to me, and being open and honest, say what changes do I have to take place on my behalf to have a better life,
Hmm. Yeah.
bit like what you did. You knew what you were going to be coming up against, but you also knew on the other side the freedom, or the peace, the serenity, the um, whatever you envisioned it to be had to be better than what you're in, right?
Way better.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And that's
The
often sometimes
journey.
we're
Yeah. The
scared.
journey was way better, even though it was
Mm,
hard, but it was way better because I lived in truth. I lived in, my own truth. Um, and the BS was told to other people.
mm,
And
mm,
my God, I thought I had friends, but those friends turned out to believe the BS. I'm
mhm.
like, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, you know, um, it's a lot better because then a lot of stuff was exposed, and yeah, that hard road was way better because I was living in my truth.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think you said something really important there, Zanetta, where you said, like, see, people will believe someone else's story, or BS, because they don't know. They think it's true, right? But
Hmm.
to you, it's BS. And I think it's really important that we don't judge, when things like this happen, particularly in separations, and divorces or whatever, and both parties. There's always two sides of the story. I always say
There's
there's three.
yeah.
Mhm.
I say that there's three.
Because there's theirs, then there's that other person, and then your own interpretation of that
Oh, and then
story.
there's
God,
God.
right?
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. So you have to, I think, it's like this. You pick up a book and you recommend this book. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Or it's horrible. It's like gets the worst reviews. The same thing. They're just reviews of what people think. You have to read that book to make up your own mind as to what it does for you,
Right.
whether it's good for you. And I think that goes to say, the same for when you are listening to people's BS. You've got to know,
Right.
and be on that other side. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. One thing about me, and I've heard, my friends' relationships and things like that. I don't pick sides.
Mm.
I don't. You know. Oh, you caught him. What you gonna do? You
Yes.
know. Oh, I'm gonna do that. Oh, okay. But don't make me choose, because I
Right.
won't.
Yeah, and
I,
it's not fair. It's not
no, it's
fair.
not. I'm not gonna choose at all, because I choose me. That's who I will choose. Always choose. I would choose me and my own. That's you know,
Yeah.
uh, because I would want that. You know, don't choose. Don't.
Mm. Yeah,
But
definitely. And I think too, like everyone, as I said, there's reasons, there's hurts, there's pains, there's
mhm.
coping mechanisms that underlie all that as well. So, an interesting topic, isn't it, Sanetta?
Yeah.
Like it's really quite it's it's laughable actually sometimes. I know that sometimes when I've caught people out um, in the past, a bit like you, I would really get ah. I want to like throttle them, shake them
Yeah.
up. Because I get it's really personal to me. Like I just get you're just insulting me. You just think you're insulting my intelligence.
Yeah.
So I think what's important to remember is your truth.
Mhm.
That's what's important. And that's what I said in that video when you just like, I hear you. And you see, when you say those words, I hear you, you're letting that person know that you are listening intentively to every word that's coming out of their mouth.
Mhm.
And when you say it in a way, not sarcastically, with conviction, with confidence that
Mhm.
I know what I know, and
Mhm.
you're saying it, you can say whatever you want, but I know what I know. I
Mhm.
hear you.
Yeah.
It's a translation of,
Yeah.
and you're not engaging in that energy. You're not being
Mhm.
drawn into it because that's what happens, unfortunately. We get angry, we get resentful, and really what for? Energy, as I said the other day, is our new currency. It's our
Yes.
new currency. And
It
we have to
is.
save it, use it in the best times
Right.
of our life for
Right.
ourselves, others that really need it, that we care for, not for these kind of type of, you know, BSing conversations because you're wasting your energy.
Right. Right. Yeah. I like what you really, I really latched on to that video that you had, that live that you had, where you said that energy is the new currency. I was like, whoa, that's
Mm.
gold. That's really gold. So, the way I was, before, now when I heard that, when you heard, I was like, yeah, I'm going to be more diligent about my energy. So, um, it's hard for me to get offended now.
Now,
now,
see? That's
now,
great.
yeah, it's hard for me to get offended.
Mhm.
People will say a whole bunch of stuff. Before you call me a B,
Let me give you a piece of my mind, right?
whoa, yeah. Now you say, hey, I won't. You're not talking to me. Hey, I'm talking to you. Because if you knew who I was, you knew who I am, you would call me by name. Hey, Zanetta. Yes. So if you call me B, that's not my name. I'm not going to answer to it. I'm
Right.
not going to answer to a honk. I'm not going to answer to, hey, beautiful, unless it's you, of course.
Yeah, because that's just my language, right?
Yeah. And those that I also greet. I greet, like Wendy. Hi, gorgeous, because I just love Wendy. She's just so gorgeous. Um, and other ones, there are a few that I do that to, but not everyone. You know,
No.
there's some that I call "Hey sis" because I feel like we're sisters.
Mm,
So I would say "Hey sis," but the ones I'm just telling on myself now. Now you know where you stand with me.
yeah.
No, but
What?
I don't answer. I don't answer to of outside of my name. Um, somebody says, "Hey, sweetheart." Funny story. We were going through the drive-through because we had picked up Keziah, and it was before her lunchtime.
Mm,
So, and we had enough time to get her, something to eat, and then go to her appointment, and still have plenty of time for the appointment. So we go through the drive through, and this lady says, "Well, all right, sweetheart," tells my husband. "All right, sweetheart, that'll be whatever, whatever, and you can go through the first window." I said, "Sweetheart?"
yeah. Your ears pricked up, right?
Right. He was like, "Oh, she might be an old lady." She is no old lady. That voice is not an old lady. And we're not in the South to where that's their language. "Oh,
Mm,
sugar. Oh, honey. Oh, babe." Yeah, that's their language in the South. We are nowhere near the South.
in the South.
Yeah, she
Oh,
better
wow.
watch her language.
Mm,
Yeah, so that was just a funny anecdote story. Yeah, but yeah,
yeah.
I don't answer to none of that, especially on the DM. "Hi, beautiful. I don't know you.
Where's
Get
all
off,
this
get off my
confidence?
DM." Right,
Yeah, yeah,
get off my DM.
yeah, yeah. So I just want to touch on, what about if you have been BSing? Let's talk about that. I mean, like, we're talking about being the receiving end of a BSR, right?
I've done that.
Right?
Oh, I have done that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
have.
we've all
I
done
have.
it. Come on, we've all done it.
Yeah, yeah.
We've all done it. So we've got it, and this seat, just saying yes, I've done it. Yet that's, how do you deal with when you get caught? How do you
Mm.
deal with when you get caught?
See, I never got caught
You never got caught?
because I would
Never?
always put a little bit of truth to a little. Yeah.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Never got caught. Okay. Well, never,
It's
never, Janetta.
nah.
Gee, you were good. You're a professional.
Well, because of my tactics, because of my tactics of who I BS.
Right, exactly. So this question goes for, I guess, if you're hearing this conversation and, this is triggering something in you. I'm not saying that the audience out here that's listening, I'm saying that you're a BS. I don't know. I'm just saying only you and your conscious will know
Right.
whether you have BS'd a few times, or you are a BSer, and you can kind of get away with it. And for some people, it's their charismatic way of getting what they want.
Mm, mm.
It's their charismatic way of navigating through scenarios.
Scenarios. Those scenarios. They always gets us. It always gets us. Yeah.
Right? So, you know, this is something for you, audience out there. If if it's not, just disregard what I'm just about to say, right? But if it is, you know, be honest with yourself. Only
Mhm.
you and you know. And have a little check in and say, okay, well, how can I change this? How can I, be less BSing and start stepping into my truth? And if you do get caught, how do I handle being caught? Because usually I get defensive, resentment, get on the attack. Well, my suggestion, okay, because there's nothing wrong with BSing, because we've all done it, right? There is something wrong with it, but it's not. You know what I'm talking about, right? I'm not explaining myself well, but what I'm saying is we can get caught into that, way of navigating through conversations, and that is through BSing. All you have to do if you get caught BSing, take responsibility.
That's it.
That's
Ownership.
it. Right.
Take
Own
ownership.
your shit.
Right. That. Yeah.
Own your
Yeah.
BS. Own your BS. Because, believe it or not, just try it someday, just for fun. It is so empowering. It is so like you are taking back your control and, well, yeah, or that was not my intention. Like, genuinely say, like, yeah, I have been, but it was only because I was hurting. It was only because I didn't want to hurt you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because if you get in that role of wanting to justify yourself, but you don't even need to do that.
Mm.
Just take responsibility.
Just take responsibility. And the truth goes a long way. It really does. The truth goes a long way. A lot of people think that when they tell the truth that nobody's gonna, no, yeah, you will get kind of a backlash, but the help will be there. You know, just
And the
especially
respect. And the respect. You
respect.
will get
Yeah,
more respect from the person you're dealing with,
yeah,
I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Especially when with um, uh, I don't know about you, but with close, no, I don't want to say close friends, no, because we don't do that with close friends. We do it with family. Family,
Mhm.
majority of the time it's family. Um, when we, I'm gonna try to tread lightly. I'm gonna tread lightly, very, very lightly.
Okay, you do that.
Um, with money, because money is always a taboo topic when it comes to family. It's a very sensitive topic when it comes to family about money.
Mhm.
So when a family member is needing money and they say this elaborate whatever happened, and then come to find out they're BSing, you know, because like again, social media tells on people.
Yes.
um Next thing you see them on social media doing some stuff. Wait, what? But I thought so. So then you call them out on their BS instead of saying, you know what, yeah, because I did not handle the money correctly, I didn't manage the money correctly, this is what happened. If you would have told me that from the beginning, I would have said some stuff you need to know priority, you know, and I would still help. But because you want to
Right.
BS,
You burnt your bridges. Yes. Yes. So
yeah,
that's why speaking your truth will always set you
own
free.
it,
Like,
just own it, own it. Yeah,
yeah.
just own it.
Yes. 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 Wow.
Yeah.
Very interesting, isn't it, Sunetta? So just to recap,
Hmm.
what would you you know, what would you tell that audience out there?
Um, don't
when you
BS.
don't forget. And if you catch people BSing, if you catch people BSing,
You know, give them some mercy, give them some grace. You know, but uh, if you catch them, yeah, give mercy and grace. You know, don't. It's not you. You know, it's them. So it's not
mm,
personal. So
mm,
don't take it personal. It's their issue, not yours. So you can't take on people's issues. Um, and you know, just continue to be who you are. You know, giving, loving, gracious person that won't take any BS.
that's right. Absolutely. And don't forget about yourself, like respect yourself enough to not take it, know where to draw the line, know where to set boundaries, because this all comes under the umbrella of, communication, setting boundaries, respecting yourself. All that is very, very important.
Hmm.
Um, if you want to be happy, if you want to be happy, because at the end of the day, yes, you're in a relationship, or, relationship meaning that wide scope that we just spoke about,
Hmm.
family, friends, intimate relationships, what's important to you, and speaking your truth and respecting yourself enough that, that other person will then start respecting you. Because believe it or
Right,
not, they will. And if they don't, they're just going to dwindle off anyway. They're just going to go because they're not going to be able to handle your, energy and what you expect from that
right.
relationship as well.
Yeah,
And that's okay too. That's
yeah,
okay.
yeah. I have a reputation at work. You know, when I used to work. Oh, don't ask Zanetta because she will tell you the truth. Is that wrong?
No.
What? Why would that comment be made? Yeah, you
That's
don't want to.
because, yeah, because people don't want to know the truth. That's what that means.
Yeah,
People do not want to know the truth. And that's how they're dealing with stuff. But sooner or later, they can only sweep it under the carpet for so long that that carpet's going to be got
like a
this little,
mound.
yeah, and you're going to trip up on it anyway because it's all
Hmm.
sitting under
Yeah, yeah,
there. So, yeah, the choice is yours. The quicker you deal with it, the freer you'll be, the better you'll feel, and
yeah.
yeah, the happier. 'Cause
Mm,
ultimately, that's what we want. We want to be in that state of happiness
yeah, yeah.
and freedom. Awesome. Well, we've been going for an hour and a bit.
Awesome.
We
Yeah,
have definitely gone over
we
our
went over
time.
3 minutes
Over.
and 15 seconds. Shame on
Awesome.
us.
I know. I know. But yeah, as always, this has been a great conversation. Thank you for everyone that's chimed in.
Yes,
And
thank you so
those that are
much.
watching on the replay, please add your comments. Tell us what you think. Share with us some experiences you may have had of
Yeah,
catching
tell
people out in BS.
stories.
How have you handled it? There's no right or wrong. Okay, we're not here
Right.
to say you got to do this. I mean, you may think what we're talking about is BS too, right? And that's okay. Just tell us. Write it
Right.
down. Hashtag BS.
Oh, yeah. Like what I said, it's hard for me to get offended because that's your
Yes.
opinion.
Yes. That's right.
Yeah, but
We're
that would be funny. That would be
Mhm.
funny. Hashtag BS troll.
Yes. Yes. We've got a few hashtags going now, haven't we? So don't be shy. Don't be a lurker. We know you're
She said, "Don't be a lurker." Oh my god. Yeah, yeah. Don't be a lurker.
and don't be a lurker, because we value your comments. There's no right or wrong. We
Yeah.
just
No.
take it all. Take it all. So I have you anything else you want to say, Zanetta,
No, this
before
was
we
a
wrap it up?
fun. This was fun. This was a fun topic. This was a stirred up a lot of memories. Um,
Mm,
yeah, yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
awesome. Awesome. Okay, so next week, as always, Fun Fresh Fridays. We'll be back at
Yes.
8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday and Saturday, 12:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Topic we haven't really come up with one. Oh, we did. Oh, yes, we do. It's a surprise. It's a surprise. You got to be here because
Yeah.
it's going to be kind of interactive, right?
Yes.
Yes, it is a surprise. So come on, join us and join us for the surprise. And we will, yeah, be excited to see you all next Friday and
Next
Saturday.
Friday,
And as always, Zanetta, we send you
we send you love and we
and we
send
send
you
you
passion.
passion.
Till
Bye
next
for
week.
now.
Bye for now.